Alright guys, TacticalRab here again today. Hope you're doing well and enjoying your day so far. Welcome back to VALORANT News, and it wouldn't be a day in North American VCT action without some juicy drama to dive into today. G2 versus Breakthrough last night, it was all kicking off. Some drama during the games, certainly after the games, certain players not even involved with the matchups getting involved. Absolute chaos. We're going to break it all down today, exactly how this went down. Very much enjoy your thoughts in the comments below. Hit the like button if you enjoy. Subscribe if you're new as always, I would greatly appreciate it. First of all, a few updates from around the VALORANT world. Of course, only in 2 days' time, the lock-in event in Sao Paulo begins. Here's DRX hanging out with the Cloud9 guys. They're already in their jerseys, getting ready to go for the upcoming matches. Of course, they play their first game against Paper X. That is going to be far from easy in just a couple of days' time. Also, confirmation, well, not confirmation, but George Geddes says that the deal has now been signed with Eccles, former 100 Thieves. Of course, he was there briefly, very briefly indeed, if you guys remember, with Velocity Gaming, this, I believe, Indian team, right, that are potentially going to sign some of the top players from around the world that didn't get signed to various other regions. And also Doma, formerly a Fnatic, is still in discussions with no pen yet put to paper. And also the Chinese League is going to be coming very soon. At least there's this likely possibility over the coming months the Chinese League will be organized. Also an update here from Cloud9. I thought was kind of interesting, just to mention the fact that he wants more rewards or some sort of something like that for playing ranked. Something outside of gun buddies would probably be kind of cool. Or as he says, just some more RP or something like that might be a good idea. Also, Calypso signed a contract. I thought was pretty cool to see. So obviously a lot of these guys that competed in the qualifiers, some of them made it, some of them didn't, and those that didn't are signing deals, potentially in different places. And of course, even the teams we're going to discuss here in a second, there's been lots of possibilities of the likes of Ada getting signed to other teams in tier 2, and even elsewhere. Right, we saw the Eccles, for example, going to an entirely new region. So we'll see what this turns out to be. One deal that has been signed though is Sliggy. So Sliggy was on Liquid for a long time, was I think part of their CSGO days, then of course he was their Valorant coach, then he left the team, and now he's back as a content creator under Liquid. So that's another update for you guys yesterday. But let's dive into the incredibly spicy set of matches we had last night in the Valorant Challengers League. So this was the game where they got absolutely destroyed by FaZe, but in fairness, look at this play from Ada. It was absolutely phenomenal. Gets just a ridiculous play here, but at this point they're down 12-1. So this was to somehow keep them alive or keep some hope alive in the series. And Ada, of course, of Turtle Troop just hit some phenomenal shots here and got the 5k ace with the Sheriff to win them the round. But of course it wasn't to be in the end. And okay, yeah, Ada made some crazy plays from, this is the perspective of the opposition here when FaZe were almost going to close out the game, but Ada decided just to get one round on the board before Turtle Troop went down. Thing is about this series, it's quite interesting. I don't really know how good FaZe even are now, because Turtle Troop won game 1 and then FaZe won comfortably game 2 and game 3. Now Turtle Troop, of course, former Squirtle squad, they're not expected to be a great team really on this level, but the fact that they won a map here against FaZe does make me wonder, are FaZe actually good? Are they not good? Do they just take a long time to warm up? I don't know. They pretty much destroyed Turtle Troop on the last couple of maps in the series, but yeah, still some questions to be asked on that one for sure. But yeah, Turtle Troop, unfortunately, not to be for them, but Ada was still, this guy is the absolute truth, and we know that there were some rumors he was going to get signed to another team. That's not happened yet, but it might well be happening now after this series, right? Because the numbers obviously reflect it to a certain degree, despite getting pretty much bodied on game 2 and game 3 this series, 13-4, 13-4 in a sense, but Fracture was 13-9 in their favour. Now, Harmful had a pretty tough series here. I know that he was on the jet a fair bit, but there was some discussions from Governor, the fact that Harmful's been going through some physical issues lately, so to kind of caveat some of his difficult performances. Hopefully he can turn it around, but yeah, was definitely getting roasted a fair bit last night as a result of this performance. Let's talk then about the absolute banger Breakthrough versus G2. Now, this Breakthrough team are significantly better, I think, than they're getting given some credit for. So G2, it's a really interesting team they actually have. It reminds me a little bit of Sentinels 21. You've got kind of a double duelist thing going on. ShahZaM's making some big plays. Dapr is still playing incredibly well. They've got obviously some young talent on the team as well. They've got the Raze Jet combo going on. They're talking trash on Twitter after the games. G2 are entertainment kind of personified at the moment. And even OpTic, of course, making some good plays here on the Haven to get them to 5-5. But they start out relatively slow, G2. Breakthrough actually win game 1 here before G2 then turn up for the rest of the series. So I do think Breakthrough are obviously they've had good results so far. I think they beat Oxygen, right? Despite Scuba going off on on the first time around. ShahZaM as well. I mean, look at this play from ShahZaM. I guess I'll just go full screen right here when ShahZaM shuts down the eco. But yeah, unfortunately, he doesn't manage to, well, complete the lot. Look at this. I mean, it's just comedy stuff. And then I think he goes down to his teammates. Yeah, I think he goes down to his teammate here. Yeah, absolutely hilarious stuff. But Dephh gets the trade at the end, so can't quite get the ace as he goes for the ace. But they're already down 1-0 at this point. To G2 trying to bounce back in the series. They tie it up. They go to a game 3, and eventually they win a very tight game 3 here on Pearl. But there was a lot of drama in this one because there was one particular round where G2 were going to win, then Breakthrough were going to go for a save. So it was a 5 versus 3, I think, advantage in G2's favor. There was 3 remaining on Breakthrough, but they had a weapon they wanted to save over to the next round. The game, or the TeamSpeak, then crashed, and there was an issue where the TeamSpeak that the Breakthrough guys were in was crashing, obviously where their communication is. So, you know, that's obviously not ideal for them. The game had to be stopped and the issue resolved. And then there was one round, I believe, where I think it was Flyer potentially, who I'm still not really sure why FaZe got rid of him, because this guy is still pretty nice in my opinion. But, you know, like when he was having an issue where he tabbed out to fix the TeamSpeak issue and then got killed. So, you know, it was a bit of a messy game, right? And in the end, G2 were going to win, it looked like, and then Breakthrough, like, had this whole pause drama. And every time there's a pause drama, you'll find that often the reasons for it are less malicious than one team seems to believe, right? Because at the end of the day, if you're playing a match, it's a close game, you're trying to win, you're about to win potentially, and the other team gets some sort of technical pause, your immediate thought is, oh, they're trying to ice us, right? They're trying to, like, you know, try and stop our momentum, they're trying to do this maliciously. That's not always the case. There can be very valid reasons for it, but often you'll see that both sides of the argument, you know, there's a lot of emotion involved in these situations when you're playing a game and these pauses come through. So Dapr obviously wasn't happy. He was like, you know, dropping the Z to Z emoji while the pause was going down, but eventually they won the game 3, they won the series, and as Penny says, won 2-1 versus Breakthrough. Proud of how we kept our heads held high in a very interesting situation. So Penny, mature take on the situation. ShahZaM as well doesn't get involved in the drama. 1-2-1 versus Breakthrough. GG's. Gotta fix our slow start and we will be good. So good words from ShahZaM, good words from Penny, but you know, his teammates did not decide to take this approach. It started with this one from Wippie, of course, on G2. GG's 2-1 versus Breakthrough. Pathetic trash players trying to restart 5v3 when TeamSpeak crashed like what? So basically he's talking about this rounds 5v3 advantage where they were saving a weapon and then the TeamSpeak crashed, they had an issue, and therefore they wanted to replay that round. Now, I think really the reason why they wanted to replay it was because they wanted to ensure that they could have that weapon that they were saving carried over going forwards. Now, of course, it's not the end of the world, but I think that's what they wanted. Whereas G2 were like, guys, we'd won that round. Like, we're not replaying it. That's ridiculous. So, bit of a tricky one, right, to actually get this right. Now, we see this reply here from Sim. None of the players were trying to restart the round, you clown. And we also got this reply from Flyer. None of us said to replay it. I alt-tabs to try reconnecting and died. So our coach asked for the replay. Not one person on our team fought for any of that. So he's blaming the coach and saying, look, the coach was trying to replay. We didn't even want to replay. We thought, okay, whatever, we'll just play from there. Now, the coach doesn't actually necessarily agree with this one. Now, Dapr dives in as well. 2-1 versus Break Something, giving charity rounds, but it's always fun to beat people who will try and replay a round where they know they lost. Thanks to the fans for the support. So, I mean, yeah, we've got them calling each other clowns. We've got them calling pathetic trash players. Dapr's coming in saying he's giving away charity rounds but still winning. And then TenZ here, who's their coach of this team, comes in with the following. I don't know why you think we tried to replay a round. We literally told admins the damage was done, so the round was yours. And then, of course, well, Lucky says, well, hang on a second here. You've got, Luxy says, you've got Flyer saying that you tried to get the replay. And TenZ said, actually, he doesn't know what I'm talking about, or he doesn't know what was said here. I was muted in TeamSpeak talking to the admins on Discord, so he has no idea what I said. What was being decided by the admins in Riot was about the economy, because a player tabbed out to check TeamSpeak and died as a result of that. This is the only thing I asked about because they wanted to kind of carry over that weapon. So there's been no ruling here. There's been no wording from Riot or from the VCT or anything. There's been no clear explanation as to why the decision was made as it was. And, you know, it leaves things up to interpretation a bit where the teams and the players are now getting deeply frustrated with it. And even this Wippie comes back. So Sim says, none of the players will restart the round. You're a clown. And then Wippie goes, I mean, this I thought was pretty, I mean, like he got roasted hard for this. We'll see in a second. 13,000 more hours of Valorant and you'll get paid for playing the game. So he was saying to Sim, because of course Breakthrough is not an organization, it's a free agent roster. They're not signed, they're not getting paid necessarily. They're trying to get an organization to sign them, I suppose. So Wippie's basically just roasting Sim here for not getting paid to play the game. And he's like, look, play more time and you'll actually get paid, you pathetic trash player. Now, Ethan is not going to take this, and I think understandably. So Ethan comes back and says this, from experience, ? And quote tweets, I'm assuming Wippie's, Steam here with 13,000 hours on CSGO, because, the roast here really is that Wippie had 13,000 hours in CSGO, just like he's saying that Sim should do, but Wippie was actually, not particularly good at CS, or wasn't really considered to be a particularly high-level player, and hadn't really achieved anything until he came to Valorant, let's say. So Ethan just roasting him hard and saying, yeah, okay, he'd have 13,000 hours, but it doesn't mean anything, right? So yeah, Ethan just woke up and chose violence right here. Thought this was comedy, but I thought Wippie maybe went a bit too far on this one. Tricky situation, of course, right? Because it's difficult to say who's in the right, who's in the wrong here. I thought it was, what ShahZaM said and just saying GG's and moving on is probably the way to do it, but it wouldn't be North American Valorant maybe without some sort of drama coming from both sides of the argument. So yeah, do you think Breakthrough, G2 it in the right? At the end of the day, G2 moved to 2-0. Now, that wasn't where the drama ended of the day, actually, because babybay says the following: professional players not knowing lineups or basic utility on their agents in 2023 is crazy. What do I know, though? I'm teamless. So babybay keeps just going hard at pretty much everyone he can get his hands on right now. So he's trying to roast the players right there in the matches last night. Dazzle from SR says, this guy hasn't even attempted to play a match since 2020. Lost to Oxygen, worrying about my tweets. Focused on the wrong thing, lil bro. And then we get this from Zelsis of Cloud9, who I guess is in Sao Paulo right now, but he says this: professional players not playing matches in 2023 is crazy. What do I know, though? I'm not teamless. So, just clapping back at babybay and kind of subtweeting him there and saying that, oh yeah, this guy's calling him a pro player, calling himself a pro player. He's not even on a team, not even playing the game. So, yeah, man, NA Twitter drama simply does not stop. These were the overall numbers from that series, just to look real quick. So Dapr was again just killing people on the Cypher, was cool to witness. Game 1 went Breakthrough's way on Haven, then Ascent was 13-9, Pearl was 13-8. Obviously some drama in this one, but yeah, in the end, G2 on that offensive side were just too strong on the second half, and that leaves the groups looking like this going into the Sao Paulo events, with G2 topping the lot over there in Group A at 2-0 so far. So hit the like button if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, take care, and I'll see you next time.